Welcome once again, fans, to another exciting edition of CSW Viral. I am joined by the working class hero, Joe GIBSON. Thanks for joining us this week, Joe.
Thanks for having me, Mike Roycroft. It's always an honor when I can take place here in an episode of CSW Viral. I appreciate you having me. Unlike the present circumstances of why I'm here, but it's always fun to be here with you.
Indeed, we're happy to have you. And we've got a really big main event. This has been a long-anticipated match. That group, the Fist, that's been wreaking havoc across CSW. They're taking on Team CSW, Brian Caige, Cameron Frost, and Jon Ryker in the main event of this program today.
I tell you what, the cards are definitely stacked in the team of Team CSW right now, because they've got Jon Ryker in their corner. I mean, that's a hell of a wild card to have. And then you have Cameron Frost. They don't call him Master Devastation just to hand out a name. He can lay out some devastation. So Brian Caige definitely has some decent allies. Now, can they keep their egos in check is another question here. Because, as we've known, the three of them, not really too much of a big fan of each other. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out, Mike.
Will definitely be exciting to watch today. That, of course, leads us into our next event at the Mossy Head Community Center for CSW. That's the Four Corners of Hell. This man, Joe GIBSON, we saw last week, qualified for that match, putting the claw on Chris Corbin and getting the big win. The other competitors in that match right now are the CSW champion Lane Smart, Nathan Beast, and Mike Metal.
I tell you what, there's definitely some heavy hitters that are going to be involved in this, as well as a little wild card there in Nathan Beast. You know, he showed a lot of heart, you know, and he's definitely moving up the ranks real quick here in Culture Shock Wrestling.
One man who gave up his spot in the Four Corners of Hell match is Mikey Webb to save his friend Buddha Bushido. We've got words with those gentlemen right now. Let's go to Mikey Webb and Buddha Bushido.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm being joined at this time by Miracle Mikey Webb and the American Ninja Buddha Bushido. Mikey, you sacrificed and gave up your Four Corners of Hell slot in the CSW Championship for Buddha Bushido. Why?
You know, I come out here every month and I work as hard as I can. And I don't do it for the titles, and I don't do it for the gimmick matches. I don't do it to do anything but entertain the fans. That's what I care about, is to hear the cheers and the roar of the crowd. That's what I care about. So to save him, if I need to give up my match, I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with it.
I told you not to. You heard me yelling that in front of them not to do it.
CSW management has asked me to let y'all know that y'all are both entered back into the Four Corners of Hell match. Your thoughts?
I'm in the Four Corners of Hell match?
Yes, management took sympathy up on you for being attacked like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm tired of sympathy. I'm tired of everything that pertains to me being weak. You know, I never tapped out. I didn't give up. I was out there and I was fighting him fist to fist, hand to hand, head to head. All right, I didn't ask you to give up your spot. I'm sorry you had to give it up, but it looks like we're in there now. And I'll tell you right now, it's not just you. There's monsters in that ring. I ain't running. I'm tired of giving up, and I'm tired of being the comedy gimmick. It's no more. I'm going in there, and I'm going right after Mike. If I have to run through him with a kendo stick, if I got to beat him with a chair, if I have to throw the kitchen sink at him, I'm going to beat the living hell out of Mike Metal. Here you go, sugar britches.
There you hear it. They're both fired up. Stay tuned.
Wow, what a bombshell, Joe GIBSON. I guess Mikey Webb is back in the Four Corners of Hell match after all. You heard it there from management. Both Mikey Webb and Buddha Bushido get back into the Four Corners of Hell despite the best efforts of Mike Metal.
It just goes to show you that anything can happen here at the mothership show of the Gulf Coast, Culture Shock Wrestling, because we thought he was out. We thought Mikey Webb gave up his spot. But as it comes to find out, because there are honor among competitors, sometimes when you pay it forward, it comes back full force.
No doubt. I know a lot of fans are happy to hear about this. Another thing they'll be happy to hear about are the big matches we've got coming up right here next week on Culture Shock Wrestling Viral. We are going to see two very athletic, high-flying competitors in the Puerto Rican luchador Locura. He will be taking on the man we just heard from, Mikey Webb.
Ought to be a good match. Very fast-paced, very high-flying, because those two guys, their feet rarely meet the floor.
Another big match we got coming up is a #1 contendership match for the Tag Team Championship. We will have 3 teams competing in an elimination match. Former Tag Team Champions to Onyx, former tag team champions Show Enough Sexy, as well as the team of Initial Shock with Extreme G and JT Angel.
Definitely some polished veterans of the Gulf Coast wrestling scene in Initial Shock. Those other two teams are definitely going to have their hands full with these guys.
Well, we will wait no further, folks. We're going to give you the big match you've been waiting for. It's the Fist versus Team CSW.
Here we are, fans, awaiting the entrance of the Fist. Easily the least popular group of people here in Culture Shock Wrestling, and I'm sure they don't care one bit that they are. They've got their hands full with an all-star team here tonight, Joe.
Definitely. DJ Durst definitely sporting the aviators. Definitely taking a page out of the old Cameron Frost and Brian Caige book as far as style.
Perhaps taunting them a bit, huh?
I think it's trying to get in his head a little bit, Mike. And if there's one group who can definitely get in the head of some well-balanced professional wrestlers, I truly believe it's the Fist.
Well, they've been wreaking havoc everywhere they've been so far in their short history. I guess mission accomplished in making an impact and making a name for yourself. They're facing three men who have all held the CSW title in the past. This really is an all-star team coming out here.
But you gotta wonder, Mike, are they really going to be a cohesive team? Because we saw earlier tonight that there's a little bit of distrust here, and it mainly has to do with the guy entering the ring right now. They really don't feel like they can trust Brian Caige.
My co-host here on Viral, a very polarizing figure indeed, Brian Caige, the story of the year. But all three of these men have had their battles amongst one another. Cameron Frost, Jon Ryker, and Brian Caige. You pose the magic question, can they put their differences aside? Can they work as a team and put an end to this plague known as the Fist?
Well, only time can tell, Mike. Only time can tell.
Caige making his grand entrance as always. We want to urge all of you to come out to the Mossy Head Community Center March 30th to witness the Four Corners of Hell. That is our next live event. It's going to be something else. This is just a taste of the kind of action you're going to see. Four Corners of Hell. That's going to be no holds barred, weapons allowed, blood and guts all over the place, all that good stuff. Things wrestling fans like to see. It's going to be something else we hope to see each and every one of you out there. Right now we await the further entrance of Team CSW.
And a man who's very well known here in the Mossy Head Arena. A man who calls himself the Master of Devastation, Cameron Frost. Now, Mike, I can tell you, I've been in the ring plenty of times, had plenty of battles with Cameron Frost, and a little known fact, I've never beat the man. So I can tell you right now that having Cameron Frost on your side is definitely an asset in this battle.
Cameron Frost universally respected in the CSW locker room, except perhaps with the exception of the Fist. Not sure they respect anybody.
I don't even think they respect themselves, actually.
Well, can you blame them? Once again, a former CSW champion here in Cameron Frost. Not exactly best friends with his partner there, Brian Caige, nor the man about to enter the ring, Mr. Hardcore himself, Jon Ryker.
As you can see, though, the wagons are starting to get circled here. The Fist is obviously not having that much of an advantage now in numbers, because I honestly believe now they're on an even keel, because the man about to enter the ring right now is a man who probably accounts for two other competitors in that ring.
True enough. Jon Ryker, huge man, huge heart, and a huge capacity to inflict punishment.
And you got to figure, Mike, if there's anybody who takes the Fist just like interjecting into the lives of everybody here at CSW, it's got to be Jon Ryker, because he eats, sleeps, and bleeds CSW. This is his baby. This is his pride and joy. And you got these punks that call themselves the Fist just inserting themselves like where they shouldn't be.
No doubt about it, they've made it very personal here with all three of these competitors. Probably the whole locker room of Culture Shock Wrestling. They've been attacking people right and left. You see Cameron Frost staring them down from outside. Caige and Ryker looking like a tentative alliance there inside the ring.
I think the Fist needs to worry about what's in the ring rather than the crowd. As you see, Callie gets very easily distracted by what the fans have to say.
The Fist tends to wander around all over the place.
And right now, they're about elbows deep in the muck.
The Fist even deep into the heads of the crowd.
It appears that, there's a little, like I said earlier, Mike, it appears there's a little distrust among Team CSW.
I don't think it's any secret. These guys are here as a matter of having a common enemy, not of necessarily being on the same page and being together, other than their hatred for the Fist.
And then Brian Caige in the center of the ring laying out that proverbial battle line there, just daring them to step across. And you got to wonder, he's the first one in, and I got to kind of say, I respect that because I think he's trying to show his teammates that he's not backing down from this fight. So he's really trying to really gain that respect from his teammates.
Whatever one may think about the Fist, we got two of the more athletic competitors here in CSW starting off, Brian Caige and Callie Kidd. Both guys very well versed in mat wrestling as well as aerial maneuvers. Let's see who gets the advantage here. Brian trying to keep him locked up.
Really holding on to that waist lock on Callie Kidd. Brian Caige really showing off some of that amateur wrestling background.
It's also needs to isolate the opponent from making the tag, which is what tag team wrestling is all about. Wear the one man down and keep him away from his partners.
A nice little reversal there from Callie, but it kind of backfired there.
And again, they go from mat wrestling to
really showing that
constant
agility.
movement.
And
great kick. Arm drag by Brian Caige.
and a
Beautiful
drop
drop
kick.
So far, Brian Caige asserting his authority in that ring over Callie Kidd.
And a very assertive elbow to the Fist.
Big forearm in the corner.
Oh, he's in. Callie Kidd is in dangerous territory over there.
Makes a bit of a hostile tag, if you will, to Cameron Frost.
It seems like it's more hostile for Team CSW to be in the same corner than a member of the Fist to be in the corner over there.
Fair point.
Sweet sassy Molassie, a kick to the face.
Cameron Frost setting up for a big DDT.
And he spiked him, Mike.
Callie Kidd really in big trouble early on. I wouldn't have expected this. Members of the Fist certainly have proven themselves a cohesive unit. So far, Team CSW, despite the reputations and despite the egos involved, they're staying on top of the Fist right now.
Don't sell Callie Kidd short. He's very resilient. And here comes DJ Durst.
Cameron Frost immediately takes away his momentum, takes control.
That's using your head.
Can't help but notice the Fist not nearly as dominant when they're face-to-face with their opponents as opposed to jumping them from behind. Nonetheless, they are not to be taken lightly. Well, looks like Big Jon Ryker. Oh, another not exactly
Not a friendly tag.
yes. Jon Ryker, big right hands in the corner. There's
Ooh.
skillet type hands throwing those chops all over DJ Durst. Big splash into the corner.
I bet Durst is thinking twice now about aligning himself with the Fist. Well, Caige kind of inserting himself in this match as well.
Now you see these guys trading a few little pushes back and forth. It might be in Team CSW's best interest to settle this match quickly so that they could get out of one another's way.
Nice flying clothesline from Brian Caige, only to be broke up the pin by Callie Kidd. Looks like he's setting him up for something special. Oh, he's coming off with that elbow. Oh.
Misses. Spike right down into the mat. DJ Durst taking quick advantage, getting him in the corner.
That's smart by DJ Durst. Just grab the guy and drag him to your corner, because that's where you want your opponent, especially in a 6-man tag situation.
These guys in the Fist, they've just been so unpredictable. They've attacked folks from behind. They've attacked opponents they've had in the ring. They've attacked newcomers to the promotion that have never even faced off with them. They attacked a security guy from outside the ring. They're just hell-bent on taking over and causing destruction, it seems to me. And we finally see a collection of folks who have the potential to put a stop to them if only they can put their own differences aside for this match.
One can hope.
Cali Kidd once again on the business end of the punishment here in this match. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting transition into a Boston crab there by Cameron Frost.
Definitely. Cameron Frost has so much technical prowess about him. He can come at you from all different angles, and that's one thing I've learned being in the ring with him. He'll either be sitting there trading blows with you, or he'll come up with something fancy like that that'll completely knock you off guard.
Also a really good strategy to try to ground Cali Kidd, take his legs out from under him. And now you see a little bit of underhanded tactics while Cali distracts the referee. Again, the Fist not above any underhanded tactic whatsoever. They will win by any means necessary. They don't care who they have to cross.
It's this gang mentality that they have, you know. It's not necessarily divide and conquer. It's just beat the guy down to a bloody pulp.
And speaking of beating down, the big man, Darius Kane, in there now. Nothing but sheer brute force from Darius Kane.
That kid is a hoss, I'll tell you that.
Splashes Cameron Frost in the corner. Oh, big suplex. Really just snapped the neck on that.
Hey,
leverage.
Usually you throw that arm over for leverage, but Darius Kane just picked him up by his throat.
Again, isolating the man on the one side of the ring, keeping him from tagging his partners, reluctant partners as they may be.
Darius Kane definitely going to work on the lower midsection there of Cameron Frost, just trying to keep the technical expert there at bay. I'm going to shoot him off there. Let's see what he comes up with. Oh, a stiff clothesline. My God.
A little shot for Brian Caige there, too.
Oh, look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about. They don't sell the Fist short. They know all the cheap shots, and they know how to really distract the opponent and the referee, and that's exactly what they did by luring Brian Caige in. As you see, now Cali has the upper hand there on Cameron Frost with a nice figure 4 leg lock.
Of all the rivalries that have been going on involving the Fist, you really got to point out the one between Darius Kane and Brian Caige. After all, it was Darius Kane who hit Brian Caige from behind with a chair. He thought they were on the same page. Darius Kane just completely stabbed him in the back.
And look at this underhanded technique here. You've got DJ Durst pulling the arms of Cali Kidd to really add more pressure to that figure 4 leg lock, as Cameron Frost now reverses the pressure, and it looks like the table's turned on old Cali Kidd now.
The veteran Cameron Frost knowing a counter for every maneuver. Still though, they've got him isolated. The Fist is in control.
It's like a tag was made to DJ Durst.
And remember, Cali Kidd, DJ Durst are also the tag team champions at this juncture in Culture Shock Wrestling.
Really going to town on that leg of Cameron Frost. Look like DJ Durst's been watching some old tapes there, a little bit of a spinning toe hold maneuver.
Twisting the ankle.
You don't really see a whole lot of this type of style from Durst. Maybe Cali's been showing him a trick or two, or maybe he's been studying his opponents. Definitely seen a new side of Durst here since he's been a member of the Fist.
It's been a bit of a mystery as to how these guys came together as this unit, but obviously they've been comparing notes, and strength in numbers applies not just to the gang beatdowns, but obviously sharing maneuvers, sharing tactics.
And Caige
Brian
coming
Caige
in.
makes a much needed tag. Big kick to DJ Durst. Cleans house on Cali Kidd, and you know, there it is. He's looking for Darius Kane.
Don't turn your back on Darius Kane.
DJ Durst in a bad way now in the corner.
Every time you turn your back, there's always a Fist waiting to get you.
Flipping the leg there is Cali Kidd. Brian Caige losing the offensive, but he makes the tag to Cameron Frost.
That might do a little damage there. You know, You got to think of how much pain that does to your ACL and your knee in general. The way he twisted after that hit. Now Cameron Frost delivering some nice little jabs there.
Anytime the fist gets in from behind, it's going to hurt.
Oh, speaking of fist and hurting, I tell you what, Cameron Frost just slapped DJ Durst's taste, I think, all the way to the 3rd row.
Now the big man, Jon Ryker, comes in. Not a welcome sight to DJ Durst. And look at Cali Kidd. Takes him down. Bit like a fly on the back. Being swatted away now by Jon Ryker. Big choke slam.
My God, he folded him in half.
Maximum impact. Now he's got the big man, Darius Kane. Wow, choke slams him as well. Jon Ryker on a roll.
Just cleaning house.
Almost single-handedly taking care of the fist now.
Went for that choke slam. He said, no, sir, I want a little pump handle action on this.
Boom. Down goes DJ Durst at the hands of Jon Ryker.
So would that be considered a fist pump right there?
Perhaps so. Looks like Brian Caige is asking for a tag. Jon Ryker not giving it to him. Not sure why he would want to. He's been in firm control here.
You got to give Cali a little bit of respect there. He's going toe-to-toe with one of the bigger guys at CSW and probably one of the more dangerous guys.
Big super kick.
He laid him out. Throwing DJ Durst on top of him. Could they get the 3 count?
Kicks out of 2. You certainly can't sell short the abilities and athletic prowess of Cali Kidd. He knows what he's doing there in the ring. And as you mentioned, DJ Durst probably picking up more than a few good tips in the ring from his association with Cali Kidd.
He just got tagged back in, so let's see what he's going to do here against Mr. Hardcore.
Look at him taunting the other two, taunting the crowd.
I wouldn't be doing that if I was him. I think I'd be staying on my opponent.
Looks like he's setting up for another super kick.
I think
he's
if he
effective once.
Oh, he got caught.
Went to the well once too often. Another pump handle slam from Jon Ryker, looks like.
Good night, Irene.
Straight down on the back.
Yeah, I wonder if Ryker was a little hurt from that attack earlier. I don't think he really got the full effect of that pump handle slam.
Looks like Cameron Frost may have made a blind tag there.
Oh my God!
Right to the face of Cali Kidd.
Call an orthodontist. That kid needs some dental work.
Brutal maneuver from Cameron Frost.
And see, Mike, that's what I'm talking about. Cameron Frost is like innovating moves and just combining them and just keeps you guessing. I would have never known in a million years to be able to outmaneuver that.
Very impressive indeed.
Brian Caige is just ready, and there's a tag.
And he gets the man he's been looking for, Darius Kane. Getting a taste of all of these guys here. This match has just been back and forth all over the place. Almost need... Oh, Murder Train, that's his finisher. He's got him.
2, no, but Cali scouted that. It's like Frost is going to go outside to neutralize Cali Kidd to make sure that doesn't happen again.
We just need 2 referees in here to keep track of all this action. These guys are all going at it. No holds barred outside the ring with Jon Ryker. Into the wall goes DJ Durst. It's just broken down into complete bedlam here. Brian Caige now alone with Darius Kane waiting to make the next move.
Yeah, that's what happens. Oh!
Ducks the super kick. Big shot to the face. And
a spine buster. Seeing shades of red and...
Oh. A little miscommunication between tag partners there.
What's going on here, guys? Come on. Oh.
Oh.
Got double got there.
Took it from both his teammate and his opponent.
Looked like Caige was able to shake that off for a brief second to get that DDT in.
Darius Kane might be finished here between the Murder Train and the DDT. I don't know who's going to kick out of that.
Why isn't Caige going for the pin? I'd be going for the pin right now.
Maybe a bit dazed, unsure where he is after that slap from Cameron Frost.
Tiny needs to really worry about the
wait
action.
a minute.
Oh, what's going on here?
Baron Von Lecter of the fist. Again, the gang mentality, the strength in numbers. big muscle buster from Darius Kane. Ah, 1, 2,
That's how it's
3.
done. That's how they do it every time. Every time. You almost have to have your head on a swivel in a 360 view when you're in there with the fist.
4 on 3, basically. Baron Von Lechter slipping in, hitting Brian Caige while the referee was distracted. Darius Kane gets the win. I'm sure particularly taking a pin from Darius Kane just rubbed salt in the wound of Brian Caige.
You gotta almost wonder now, I mean, if there wasn't that little hiccup between Frost and Caige, would this have even been allowed to transpire?
Very good point. They could have all stayed a little more on the same page. They were in control.
They got out of control, and that's what distracted the referee, and that's what allowed this to happen. I mean, you gotta kind of give credit where credit's due. It's kind of smart on the behalf of the Fist because they know how to distract that ref, and then they use it every time to their advantage.
And certainly taking pride in their victory here. As we survey the carnage in the ring.
Definitely some looks of disappointment from Mr. Hardcore and Cameron Frost.
I have to wonder what the fallout is going to be now. With these three unable to stay on the same page.
Caige is still laid out. No, what's he doing with that hockey stick, Mike?
There's no telling. An angry Jon Ryker with any blunt instrument in his hand is never good news.
Don't turn your back!
Hey, Brian Caige, you want to explain what the hell that was?
It was outside interference is what that
That's what it
was.
was. You got.
I don't trust this guy. I don't trust you, but hell, I don't trust this guy.
There you go! Don't trust
Seems like he's putting the weight of blame on Brian Caige.
Take it easy!
He's one of them, he's not one of us. He's one of them.
There's an accusation.
I'm not sure how you can accuse him of being affiliated with guys who just jumped him from behind.
You're the one blind tagging him when he's got him beat.
You punched me in the face.
I'm in the moment, man.
Yeah, you what?
He punched you in the face. He's not
You got punched!
I'll tell you what, Caige definitely has some demons from his past that might have just been carried over into this. He's been trying to go in the straight and narrow, and I think it's been backfiring
And I
on
think
him.
you're right. I think he is one of the...
Yeah.
Why the young man didn't go home?
Caige looks to be in one of the money partners right now.
Cameron, no, Preston!
As awaited, not a man with a pristine past. All of his past actions are catching up to him now. Casting him in a bad light with these guys.
When you sleep with dogs for a period of time, you wake up with fleas, and I think that Brian Caige is still a little itchy. He's still trying to...
No trust. I'm not the same douchebag I used to be. Oh yeah, you are. You're in a little bit different clothing right now, but I still think you have a lot to do with that. Tell you what, I don't trust you, but I respect you now. Next month, 4 Horns of Hell, you and I will take on the fist ourselves in a 4 Horns of Hell tag. You didn't come anywhere near that match. This is gonna be my animal.
Well, it sounds like, Mike, they're trying to take Brian Caige out of the equation to see if they can get the job done next month. I don't know how smart that would be. You're taking an ally out of the equation.
Come on, Cameron!
I'm 110% okay with that. A new chapter, but the book is still the book of douchebag.
The numbers game really not in their favor that way. You have to question the mentality of this. Emotions are running high here.
Well, that's a damn shame, Mike. It's a shame that they can't really get on the same page.
Well, there you have it, fans. A lucky break for the Fist. Not only did they get that outside interference from Baron von Lecter, but dissension in the ranks, possibly costing Team CSW the match, wouldn't you say, Joe?
It's what I was saying before, Mike Roycroft. You have to have trust in the people that you're in the ring with. And if you don't trust them and you're fighting for a bigger picture, you got to put all that crap aside. Because Team CSW is definitely hitting a couple speed bumps, so to speak. And that allowed the Fist to take advantage of a situation, as you saw.
Well, once again, that leads us into our next big event, March 30th at the Mossy Head Community Center. We now have 2 Four Corners of Hell matches signed. You saw at the end there, Jon Ryker and Cameron Frost demanding to have the Fist on their own. Got to question the wisdom about strength in numbers there, Joe.
I don't know if that's a wise choice. I think if I was Frost and Ryker, I think I'd be trying to scoop up as many allies as possible to take on the Fist. But it seems like they have a little bit of a game plan going, so we'll see how it pans out in future episodes.
I know another thing you're very much looking forward to is that heavyweight championship Four Corners of Hell. Of course, my colleague right here, Joe Gibson, helping me call the matches today, he is qualified for a spot in the Four Corners of Hell. In addition to Joe Gibson, we have the defending CSW champion, Lane Smart. He will have the odds stacked against him with multiple people vying for his title. Also in the match, the man who defeated Lane Smart, 1-2-3, Nathan Beast, that had that belt taken away from him on a technicality. He will be in the Four Corners of Hell. The bully, Mike Metal, he will be in the Four Corners of Hell, wreaking havoc as he always does. We also saw CSW management reinstate Mikey Webb, a man who originally qualified, then gave up his spot in the Four Corners of Hell. He is back in there per CSW management. And finally, Buddha Bushido, the man who's been the target of Mike Metal's bullying tactics. CSW management has seen fit to insert him in this Four Corners of Hell. Lots of great competitors, lots of personal issues to be settled, and of course, most importantly, the CSW heavyweight title.
Man, that is one prize here in the Gulf Coast that I have not been able to grab a hold of, and you better believe, Mike Roycroft. Lane Smart, you got a target on your head, son, because not only are you going to face me, you got to face a bunch of other guys who have the same taste for gold that I do. But mark my word, I don't care who wins this match. Joe Gibson's going to make sure you don't.
Fans, we hope to see each and every one of you March 30th at the Mossy Head Community Center for that big Four Corners of Hell match. I want to thank Joe Gibson once again for stepping in and doing commentary with me. I'm Mike Roycroft, and we will see you next time here on CSW Viral.